Hi, I'm Brianna Fenton with FEMA.
And I'm Stephen Clark with the U.S. Small Business Administration, and we're here to provide an update on disaster recovery resources in Vermont.
If you were a homeowner or renter who was affected by the flooding in July to your primary residence, you may be eligible for FEMA assistance. FEMA assistance may be able to help with home repairs, temporary lodging, and other disaster-related needs. Our new registration deadline is now October 12th to apply. The ways to apply is online at disasterassistance.gov. You can call 800-621-3362. You can download the FEMA app onto your smartphone or tablet and register on there, or you can visit a FEMA representative in person at one of the disaster recovery centers, which, note to self, that it will be closed on Labor Day, but from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, except for Labor Day.
Yes, a person can also, at the FEMA centers, apply for an SBA disaster loan. We have low-interest disaster loans for physical damage for homeowners, renters, private nonprofits, and small businesses. In addition to the FEMA centers, where there are trained, experienced SBA customer service representatives, we also have a business recovery center where all of the groups of people can apply, located in downtown Ludlow at 126 Main Street in the Ingalls Volker Okemo building.
So some of the differences between FEMA and SBA is that FEMA, if you are an eligible survivor, we have grants, and we're also here for homeowners and renters.
And for the SBA, we have physical damage disaster loans for homeowners and renters. For the homeowners, we have up to $200,000 for real estate damage. They can also get an additional 20% for mitigation improvements. Those might include things like landscaping or walls to improve drainage or a sump pump. Also, homeowners and renters can borrow up to $40,000 for personal property that may have been damaged. So this might be your furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, other items, or even motor vehicles that might have been damaged due to the flood and the storms.
If you receive a FEMA grant, it's really important that you use it for the appropriate cases, and that will be informed by the FEMA letter.
Yes, and for SBA purposes, you will also receive a determination letter about the status of your loan, and you have a few more, items to consider about the SBA loans. So first off, there is no application fee. Second, there is no obligation to take an SBA loan, and once approved, you have a minimum of 60 days to decide if you want to accept the loan. You can then, if you need more time, ask for more time beyond that 60-day window. Point 3, there is no prepayment penalty on the loan. Point 4, there is no accrued interest for the first 12 months after your first disbursement, and point 5 is that there is no required payment for those first 12 months after your first disbursement as well. These all work towards our kind of larger point that we do not want people to wait to receive an insurance settlement before applying for the SBA loan. We also have the application deadline for our physical damage loans, which is now October 12th, much like the FEMA deadline. So under our rules, you can borrow up to the full amount of the loan limits for your loss, and then when you receive an insurance settlement, which could be months down the road, then you're required to use those funds to pay off or pay down the SBA loan. But this will allow you to begin your recovery funding, whether it's repairs, replacement, or relocation of your physical damage with an SBA loan immediately.
One thing that I'd like to mention is that it's really important for survivors to keep in touch with FEMA just to make sure that your recovery continues to move forward, and those ways are you can do it online at disasterassistance.gov, you can call 800-621-3362, or you can visit the nearest disaster recovery center to you and speak with a FEMA representative there.
And also with the SBA loans, if you are not approved for the loan, you will receive a determination letter, and after that you have 6 months from that date to apply request reconsideration on the loan. You also, after being approved, would have 2 years to request additional funds on an SBA loan if, for example, your contractor estimates were low or it turned out you needed additional funds for perhaps mitigation improvements or other items which you had not foreseen when you had originally applied for that SBA loan.
With FEMA, if you receive a FEMA letter, it's really important that you carefully read through the whole letter, as it will contain information regarding your case. If you disagree with FEMA's decision, you have the opportunity to submit an appeal within 60 days of the determination letter. With submitting those appeals, please put your reasons for that case and your application number and any supporting documents as well.
Beyond the loans we have for homeowners and renters, we also have loans for private nonprofits and for businesses. So for those two types of disaster survivors, we do have physical damage disaster loans. Those have a current loan limit of $2 million. And in addition to those physical damage disaster loans, we also have what are called economic injury disaster loans. So these are working capital loans which do not require the nonprofit or business to have had any physical damage. These are to help the nonprofit or business pay for the ordinary and necessary operating expenses they have due to disruptions which had caused them a loss of revenue. So perhaps due to damage in the area from the storms, a business, their customers might not be able to get to them, their employees might not be able to get to work, or perhaps even their suppliers might have been damaged or otherwise interrupted, and without the products from suppliers, the business might not be able to function normally and make the same revenue that they would have done so. So these economic injury disaster loans are an additional resource. They are available in all of the 9 primary counties of the disaster declaration in Vermont. They are also available in all of the contiguous counties next to those counties. So that would include additional counties in Vermont and also counties that are adjacent to Vermont in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and New York State.
Again, the registration deadline to apply for FEMA assistance is now October 12th. So don't hesitate, get your application in because we may be able to help you.
And also for SBA physical damage disaster loans, we have that same deadline of October 12th, 2023. For the SBA economic injury disaster loans, the application deadline is April 15th, 2024. So we don't want anybody to miss those deadlines and not be able to receive the assistance they need. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.